You getting wrecked in Deadzone Rogue? Whether you're a beginner or a battle-hardened cyborg killer, there are 10 essential tips to help you survive longer, kill faster, and master the chaos. I'm JammyGiraffe, bringing roguelike guides, tips, and hints to help you out and point you to some of the best games in the genre. Hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Tip number 1. Use stealth at the start of every room. Every room starts with you in stealth mode. You can sit in stealth mode as long as you want. Don't waste it. Use this time to run around, scan for threats, figure out your first target, find those choke points and best positions to be in. Rushing in blindly is a quick way to get deleted, especially in the later zones. If you have roaming enemies, you can wait for them to be in a pack, throw a grenade out and take out a few of them in one go. Tip number 2. Understand the elements and proc abilities. Make sure you spend time to understand the various terms for the different elemental proc abilities. In the menu, you have a glossary, which helps massively. This explains what counts as a proc, which is important for some of the best builds. You need to understand that there are only 2 proc abilities for each element. Not every elemental ability is a proc. Plus, a little known fact that I think gets overlooked is the fact that a critical hit is also a proc ability and is so important to understand. It means that the lightning element, which has a higher chance for critical hit, kind of has 3 proc abilities, slightly. Get to grips with what these different proc abilities do and how they can synergize, particularly when you are looking and choosing your perks within a particular elemental tree. You want to understand what those procs do and how to best utilize them. Tip number 3, adapt to what you're given and what drops. The way Deadzone Rogue works, you're only actually given one augment to start, which can be broken down into ammo, aiming, hip fire, short range, and long range, each with 3 variants of critical chance, elemental, or weak point. The first choice should be what you play around and guides future decisions of what you take in the perk trees. You have 3 perk tree slots to fill. Yes, there are better and worse choices, however, the balance is pretty good. You just need to play to your choice. If you choose short range critical, then go for short range weapons and proc the critical as often as you can. The way the perks break down is important to understand as well. Multiple times you're going to get a choice of 3 different perks, which will be from the perk tree that you initially choose. So when you're getting these 3 choices, at some point you'll be given a choice of different elemental perks. It's worth understanding you can only have 1 elemental perk tree. You can't have fire and void as an example. Now, if you don't take an elemental perk in the first time, that's fine, they're going to come up later, but you could potentially miss it. So you only get a choice of 1 elemental, you get a choice of 1 defensive perk also from health or shield. You can't have both. Once you've chosen one, the other won't show up. You then get 2 attack perks to choose from, melee or grenade. And there are 2 utility perks, I've kind of called them, which are the bots and lock and load. The melee, grenade, bots and lock and load, you seem to be able to have any number of these in combination, whereas you can only have 1 element and 1 defense. Don't cling to one build idea. Now, I've fallen into this where there's a particular build that I like to play. However, Deadzone Rogue is all about adapting. A good run flows with the RNG. If the game gives you a void gun really early on and it gives you void perk as a choice, then take it and pivot into that, lean into it. The best players build around what they find, not what they hope for, even if you know some great builds that are potentials. Tip number 4, focus on 1 element. I've just explained that you only get the choice of 1 element perk. However, each element in the game brings serious power that you can play around with. Fire burns to increase how much damage a target receives. Cryo freezes them to reduce their movement speed. Shock increases the critical hit chance against that target. and Void reduces that target's damage. Knowing this information is really key. Once you get a strong elemental weapon though, lean into it. Stack matching perks and go all in on synergy. There's no point choosing your elemental perk and not having a weapon to match it. If you choose that elemental perk, get a primary, secondary, grenade and melee that all have that same elemental type so that you can capitalize on those procs, make use of them and don't split your elements, as this will just make you weaker in the long run. Tip number 5, superior items. When you unlock the superior items in Zone 2, spend time to look at them in detail and select ones that blend to your preferred playstyle. Don't just click randomly. While you need to adapt, everyone has a preference, and if you lean in that direction with your superior items, then you can increase your enjoyment when you do get that perfect build that you love. My advice is to upgrade items that you think you're more likely to use and you're more likely to lean into. And honestly, if it's me, I would look at the items that allow your primary weapon to proc the elemental proc of your secondary weapon or your melee or your grenade. These items allow for really easy synergy between your weapon set, and capitalizing on that is great. The other items that I would also look into are the ones that allow you to not need to reload as often. Reloading in this game is often where you die, and if you can prevent that, then why not do it? Items such as the boomerang, when fully upgraded, mean that any bullet that misses comes straight back into your magazine. You couple that with something like the minigun that is firing huge amounts of bullets all over the place, you never need to reload. Also, the dual-wield pistols, they are perfect for this item. Tip number 6, keep moving. Standing still, that's how you die. Movement is survival. Dash, use cover, crouch if you need, and never let ranged enemies get a clean shot on you. Positioning is everything in this, and don't forget the verticality in this game, which can sometimes be overlooked because of how poor the double jump is. However, you can dash straight up. You can also dash backwards. You dash in whatever direction, so use that to your advantage. Using your dash in the right way will allow you to keep moving while also be able to attack. Stay fluid and stay alive. Tip number 7, spending your tech and your scrap. After every run, make sure you spend your tech on permanent upgrades that complement your playstyle. Buff your shields, increase your speed, or amplify elemental damage. These upgrades are huge and make future runs way smoother. However, the biggest key here is, depending on the challenge that you are focusing on, you can reset your permanent upgrades for free to focus on what might help. If you're running close quarters, buff melee damage. If you're doing the sniping challenge, buff primary weapons. Respec to your requirements. And during runs, use all your scrap. Every time you get to one of those shops, there's no point dying and trying to save your scrap when you can spend to survive longer. Upgrade as you go. It's so important to keep your armor upgraded so that your damage mitigation is higher, as well as maybe use that spare money to heal yourself if there's some health packs. Tip number 8, prioritize threats. Not all enemies are created equal. Learn who to kill first. Shield bots and medics need to die. Kill on sight. Some elites are worth focusing first if they can't be avoided. However, if you can avoid them, then get rid of the ads first. Eliminate them before they nuke your health bar. Targeting priority wins fights, so position correctly to make sure that the sniper bots can't see you down the corridors, but make sure that you're able to get to the big spiders that can chase after you. Knowing who and where to focus your attention is very important. Tip number 9, melee builds can go overlooked. Some melee builds are truly overpowered. There is a perk which allows you to gain stealth after a kill with a melee weapon. If you get the correct melee weapon, the superior item that allows your melee to proc your primary, secondary, and grenade elemental proc abilities, then melee might just be the answer to some builds, particularly if you can incorporate those grenades. They aren't just backups, they can carry a run. Perks like Grenade Cascade cause grenade kills to spawn more grenades. The chain reaction can get intense and the damage can become insane. Even 1 or 2 grenade perks can save a bad run. Don't overlook it when you're looking at your perks. I understand this one is less of a tip and more advice, but it's very specific for solo players needing something different to try and get through some of the harder challenges. Build around that melee, stay stealthy, and use your grenade to deal with packs. Tip number 10, play multiplayer. My last advice is less a tip, more of a suggestion. Play multiplayer. Everything is easier and way more fun. This game is designed for co-op. Try it out or come join me in Discord and join us playing roguelikes. The experience you're going to get by attempting the harder difficulties in multiplayer will be far more forgiving and far more enjoyable. The chaos can be amazing. So there you have it, 10 tips to help you dominate the Deadzone. Stay smart, stay mobile, and embrace the chaos. If you found this helpful, drop a comment of your thoughts on the game and whether you're excited for the Zone 3 update. I know I am. Also, please hit that like button, it helps me massively, and consider subscribing for more roguelike content and guides, such as these guides for blueprints or this list of 20 other roguelike demos I played and am looking forward to. I've been JammyGiraffe, sending love and positivity as always. Jammy out.